Let's make a circle, let's join hands and sing. Let's make a circle, come let's form a ring. Let's make a circle, let's join hands and sing. Let's make a circle, come let's form a ring. Today we're going to start with a riddle. It is a weather riddle. This book is called A Child's Garden of Verses, and the author is Robert Louis Stevenson. So I'm going to read you the riddle, and then I'm not going to tell you the answer. You will need to think of the answer, and part of your homework is to send the answer to me. Ask your parents to help you send it somehow, maybe on a text. And I will post that when I post the journal drawings from yesterday. Okay, so here's the riddle. I saw you toss the kites on high and blow the birds about the sky. And all around I heard you pass like ladies' skirts across the grass. I saw the different things you did, but always you yourself you hid. I felt you push, I heard you call, I could not see yourself at all. O you that are so strong and cold, O blower, are you young or old? Are you a beast of field and tree, or just a stronger child than me? So think about that riddle. I'll give you a hint. It's something to do with the weather. And send your answer to me along in an email. Let us do the calendar now. Everyone see? It's a little different from yesterday. Ben told me that yesterday at the end of the lesson when I said, see you tomorrow, Ben said, but we can't see you. So we're trying something new today. And you can see me today. We'll see if this works better. Yesterday was March the 16th. So that makes today, Tuesday, March the 17th. In 1, 2, 3 days, we will say goodbye to winter, and we will say hello to spring. Outside at school right now, I'm not sure what it's doing at your house, but outside at school right now, the weather gnomes say it is cloudy. It's a little bit windy. And at some point today, it might even be a little bit stormy. So I hope you can go outside. Right now, take a minute to stop and go and look out your window and check and see the weather. You can even step outside to feel, is the March wind blowing cold or is the March wind blowing warm? How does it feel at your house? At school right now, it feels, it doesn't feel too bad. We started tracking the moon cycle on the last full moon. If anyone remembers, the last full moon was on March the 9th. And we talked about after there is a full moon in the sky, then the moon then begins to wane. It begins to get smaller and smaller until eventually in the sky you will not be able to see the moon at all. And we call this the new moon. So in March, if you can see on our moon calendar, March is here. We had the full moon on the 9th. You see how it's just a full white circle? And if we know that today is March the 17th, oh wow, look how small the moon is getting. So that eventually we will look up in the sky and the new moon for the month of March will be on March the 24th. And after that, the moon will start to wax. Think about if the moon gets smaller as it wanes, what do you think the moon does as it begins to wax? Look at the calendar, look at the patterns. See if you can figure out what does it mean when the moon begins to wax after the 24th. So we'll keep tracking the moon cycle for the coming days. All right, get ready now to do our sight words. And today should be a little easier for you to see how we arm tap the sight words. I want you to have your tray ready of sand or coffee grounds or rocks. If you don't have a tray, that's okay. You can use a plate. Just something flat that you can write your words on. All right, so let's read the ones from the previous days. Of, put, him, see. All right, and this, or today's new word, get your arm ready. So hold your left arm out, and you'll put your right hand on top of your shoulder, on top of your left shoulder. Okay, the new word today is and. All right, we're going to arm tap and. A, N, D, and. A, N, D, and. A, N, D, and. Take your fingers and get ready to write the word and in your tray. A, N, D, and. You can also take some time now to write all of the sight words in the sand if you'd like. Or to show you them all again, I'll try to hold them up. If you want to take some more time and practice writing all of them, you do not have to. It's up to you. But those are all the ones we've done so far, plus the one from today. I'll figure out a better system for this tomorrow. But your sentence that I want you to write with the word and, so take a little time now, push pause if you need to get your journal or a piece of paper. The sentence I want you to write is cats and dogs. Cats and dogs. Now you can think of a sentence on your own. I like peanut butter and jelly. You think of a sentence and share it with your parents. And after you do that, I want you to get ready for our fungus lesson. So get your fungus book. If you don't have a fungus book, get a piece of paper. Ollie is here with me today. Do you want to see him? Hello. Ollie's here at school with me. And we're going to move the lesson over here so that we can see the fungus that we're growing a little bit better. So, new kindergartners, we've been talking about different types of fungus. I've got a couple of examples. How many of you have this growing in your refrigerator? We found some, not sure if this is butter or cheese, but this was in the refrigerator at my house. It's kind of yucky, but you can see the mold growing on it. That is a kind of fungus. On our playground, we've seen this kind of fungus, and you see this a lot when you go into the forest. That's from our playground. We call those polypores. I bet if you have some old trees in your backyard, or if you take a walk today, you might be able to see polypore growing on tree stumps or logs. If you can come to school sometime, the polypores on our playground are growing in the back corner behind the chicken coop. So see if you can maybe sometime over this long break come over and look for the polypores on our playground. And then another kind of fungus that I know everyone has seen. We've had this out on the kindergarten shelf for a while, but this kind of fungus is a lichen. And we know that lichen are formed when a fungus and an algae are growing together to make a new organism, I guess, called lichen. It's kind of neat. So on March the 10th, we started growing portobello mushrooms at school. So let's get our get your page ready in your fungus book or on your paper. We need to date. So we know from the calendar that today is March 17th. Right out of room, 2020. If you want to abbreviate it, you can. 3, because March is the 3rd month of the year, /17, 17th day of March, 20. Our year is 2020. So a fun math lesson really fast. If we started our portobello mushrooms on March the 10th, and today is March the 17th, how many days have our mushrooms been growing? So we can do this on our fingers really fast. How many days have our mushrooms been growing if we started them on the 10th and today's the 17th? So we need to count starting at 10 up to 17. All right, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If we started them on the 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days our portobello mushrooms have been growing. So now we're going to take a look and see what has happened. Now when we first started them, Ben, you might have been sick. Finn and Nettie and Eamon and Graham and George, if you remember, the casing that we put on top of the compost, it was pretty brown, right? There was not really much going on. Now we can look and see what has changed. Let's see if I can position this so that you can see it. So, can you see all of this white? It's hard to see, but this white is actually really fuzzy looking. It looks like really soft, kind of cottony. But all of this white is called the mushroom's mycelium. So I want you to write that word right now in your fungus journal on today's page. We're going to sound that word out together. The word is mycelium. My, I, my, mice, mice, oh, mycel, mycelia, mycelium. Take some time after the lesson to draw what you are observing. What color is the mycelium? What color is the compost that the mycelium is growing on? The mycelium is actually the fungus that the portobello mushrooms are going to start growing out of. Our instructions say that the portobello mushrooms should be ready on the 27th. Okay, so let's do another quick math. All right, today is the 17th, right? Our portobello mushrooms should be ready on the 27th of March. So how many more days are we going to need to wait before we can harvest our mushrooms? You will need to start at 17 and count until you get to 27. So let's get our fingers ready. Okay, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So how many more days? 10. 10 more days until we can have some mushrooms. One more thing we need to check. I don't know if you guys remember. Flip back in your fungus book and see if you can find the page that tells us what the temperature for these things needs to be in order for them to grow. Remember what this tool is called? It is a thermometer. And you can look at the red. I don't know if you can see this or not. Ugh. Just barely. Look at the red. See if you can try to tell. It's kind of hard because this is an old thermometer, but I feel like this temperature is reading 65 degrees is the temperature in here. So I think, I can't find the instructions, but I think according to the instructions, that's a good temperature. Go back in your fungus book to make sure I'm right. And if I am not right and that temperature needs to be warmer, please let me know so I can move them so they'll grow. Tomorrow you will need to have ready your clock. You will need to have a big piece of paper. You'll need to have markers or crayons. We're going to make a schedule for you using the clock and thinking about all the things that you do throughout the course of your day. So you'll need to have those things ready for our lesson tomorrow. I've given with my heart and mind the effort that it needs, and I will search in me to find good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Our work is done, our day has passed, we'll go our separate ways, and I will hold so tight and fast what I have learned today.